Hi everyone, I'm Claire Winterheimer. I'm the Experience Manager at EVPL McCullough. In celebration of Women's History Month, I wanted to put a spotlight on women creators in the comic book industry. Now, the comic book industry, like many others, is one that has been driven predominantly by men. However, throughout the history of and into the present day of the industry, there have been women working to create, produce, and thrive in this competitive and creative field. I would like to take a moment of your time to highlight three of my favorite women making a name for themselves in the world of comics. Work from all the creators I'm going to talk about can be found in EVPL's digital or print collection. Becky Cloonan is an American, by way of Italy, comic book artist and writer known for her work with Dark Horse Comics, DC Comics and Vertigo, Marvel Comics, and a large collection of self-published work. Back in 2012, Cloonan was the first woman to ever draw an issue of the main title Batman series. But personally, it's Cloonan's work that combines elements of horror and fantasy that really stand out to me. I think CBR.com was spot on when they wrote, "While Cloonan has shown to be exceptional at any project she puts her mind to, she has especially become known for her ability with horror, subtle or unsubtle. She has the ability to create real mood and atmosphere and emotional resonance through her imagery. A master of tension and pacing, Cloonan's work is magnificently difficult to put down thanks to her mastery of storytelling." My favorite example of her ability to create truly complex and beautiful comics is her self-published work by Chance or Providence, which is available to read on Hoopla. This work collects her award-winning trilogy, Wolves, The Mire, and Demeter. These hauntingly beautiful and very melancholic stories span across medieval landscapes, ancient curses, oceanside tragedy, and more. All of her work is worth checking out, and you can find a lot of it on Hoopla. I would suggest trying her galactic horror series, Southern Cross, as well as Gotham Academy, which is a DC series that follows the teenaged children and protégés of some of DC's most famous heroes and villains. Mariko Tamaki is a Canadian artist, writer, performer, and activist of Japanese Canadian and Jewish Canadian descent. In the world of comics, she is well known for her award-winning graphic novels, Skim and This One Summer, both of which were a collaboration with her cousin, Jillian Tamaki. She has written for the Big Two, DC and Marvel Comics, as well as Dark Horse Comics, with titles in DC's She-Hulk series, Tomb Raider for Dark Horse, and more. She took the helm on many of the novelizations of the Lumberjanes series and released a standalone graphic novel with illustrator Rosemary Valero O'Connell in 2019 titled Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. This queer graphic novel spotlights young love and toxic relationships and does so in a way that really dives into the complex nature of dating abuse, especially in adolescence. In 2020, it was announced that Tamaki would be leading the creative team for DC Comics' Detective Comics series with artist Dan Mora. This made Tamaki the second woman to be a lead writer on a core Batman title and the first to write for the series long term. Sana Takeda is a Japanese Hugo and Eisner award-winning illustrator and comic book artist, best known in the US for her work with Marjorie Liu on the award-winning series Monstrous. Stylistically, Takeda's work truly stands out. It is intricately detailed. Her characters are drawn with a Pan-Asian appearance reminiscent of some anime and manga styles, and her color palette is always unique and creates a very specific atmosphere in her work. Monstrous, which is available to read on Hoopla, is a great series to read during Women's History Month. Set in an alternate early 20th century matriarchal Asia, it follows the journey of teenager Micah Halfwolf, a survivor of a cataclysmic war between humans and Arcanics. Arcanics are half-human, half-animal god. And Micah looks human, but she is an Arcanic and was persecuted and kept in a slave concentration camp during the war until her very bloody escape during a prominent battle. This battle left her scarred and missing her left arm from the elbow down. As if she hasn't already accumulated enough baggage to last a lifetime, The remnant of Micah's left arm also serves as host to an old god. An old god that is a mysterious demonic entity of immense power that causes Micah to commit terrible acts of violence. As Micah journeys through the bleak and war-ravaged landscape in search of answers about her mother's death and the monster her body houses, she is sought out by those with authority who wish to control her and use her power. Monstrous explores many complex themes, including womanhood, the treatment of women's bodies, why society fears powerful women, and so much more.